Hello everyone, welcome back to another Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever cast. Today we're going to be playing on Adaptive Millenium. This is a map that's pretty flavour of the month. I've played a few games on this month, and you'll definitely see it in the custom game lobby if you've been on the FAF client. If you're new to the channel, and I know quite a few of you are, since in the last couple of weeks we've gone from 300 of you Spartans to more than 420 dank subscribers.
Smoke weed every day.
If you are new here, you haven't seen some of the older videos, go and check out the FAF Experience meme vid. It took me at least 9,000 hours in Microsoft Paint to make that, so go give it a click. And we will get on with our game. Now, Adaptive Millenium is a very interesting map. You have to tell me what it makes you, what you think this map looks like in the old map Rorschach test. But I'm just going to put this right here. Now, this is a map with quite a bit of reclaim in the middle, and we'll see how our teams react to that. But there's 3 causeways, 2 lakes, and kind of an interesting dynamic which these players here and here tend to get crushed pretty often. So we'll go through and introduce our players, starting off on the top team here. We've got UEF Flyboy Boom. He's in the green UEF Chadcom. Look at those thighs. This is a man who does not skip leg day.
Damn, boy, he's thick!
Up here, on the plateau, with this Illuminati style crop circle on the ground, it's Yellow Fruit, and he is in the Seraphim com here, going air. He's protected from the land by this cliff. Then we've got Hazard 65. He is already on the way to the middle there. Look, he basically rushed that, but he basically did a Hydro Rush com, but without making the Hydro. And then next to him, we have Flag and Sacket 10, who is, he's got an air factory, and he's making engineers. His com is going backwards to the back here. That's an interesting decision. Then in Tennis Association Grey, we've got ATP3. He's also playing Cybran. And in the corner, last but not least, for Team 1, the highest rated player in the game, it's Erectimus Prime. In that lava-coloured orange Seraphim com there, stomping his way to the middle. Now his mirror, the highest rated player on Team 2 here, is going to be Tetra Depressed Smiley.
I have crippling depression.
That's the best way of describing him. He's playing the blue Seraphim, so Seraphim mirror matchup for the high-rated players. Next to him, we've got Kramer in the Cyan Aeon com. He's opening first land. Then we've got I guess because he's Cybran, this needs to be Edgelord Red. We've got Zelda Fanboy, and we've definitely seen Zelda Fanboy on a cast before, so hopefully he does well. We've got Rye Guys in Marshmallow Pink, also stomping his way towards the middle. And down here, opening second air as well as first air, we've got Fiasco 21 in that yellow chonky UEF. He's queued up a very large number of energy storages already before any mixes. That's an interesting choice. And the last player we'll introduce today, and already rushing T2 at 3 minutes, is the Duelist. He's in this defensive slot here, cut off from his team. Now if we look at the map, you see all that reclaim is likely going to be claimed by Team 1 here. They did get here first. Tetra stealing a little bit there. In the middle, that drop, so it looks like Flagon managed to, he was rushing a transport, but he's not reclaiming with it. And Hazard 65 is coming in to set up a base. This is very, very risky. If he loses this base, he not only loses all the reclaim and mass he put into it, but he loses his production. He won't be able to make tanks or RTs or any units to fight back. This is an incredibly risky move. A lot of players do this, and this is very risky. Obviously, the fast replenish time on your units for reinforcing and the slight health bonus from the factories you can hide behind as a wall can help, but still very risky. We've got a 2v1 in the mid here, and that's going definitely better for Team 2 as our tennis player gets ganked by 2 comms. It would be nice if Hazard 65 would help him, but he seems more interested in deforestation at the moment, moving to make a PD. All those engineers got cleaned up. And on the right hand side, there was no attempt to move out and do any of the reclaim by the duelist here, our duelisting friend. And his opponent, Erectimus Prime, is just going to scoop up all of this by the looks of things. More mass in the water to collect. That Tech 2 upgrade has finished already, and he's making Tech 2 PD and a shield at the front, even on Tech 1 Mexes, look. T1 Mexes and he's making Tech 2 PD. That is, he is doing some upgrades. But that is, these are expensive. This is, 2 of these cost the same as a Tech 2 Mex upgrade. That's a questionable decision there. Back into the middle, and we've got both comms standing idle as the PD dies. I think this position is lost now. This is now a 3v1. 3v2, sorry. So Team 2 has 3 comms. And Team 1 up here only has 2 comms. Where is their other middle player? Well, their other allied comm here, who perhaps should be helping them, is Flagon, and he is standing here making P-gens. So your comm is either 20 Tech 1 tanks or 2 Tech 1P engineers, and I'm pretty sure his allies would rather have 20 tanks with him right now than 2 engineers. Some bombers brought in from Rye guys, but having no real impact there. This position, now will Kramer chase? If he chases far enough, he will be able to get a kill here. The health differential is so high. And there's no units. Hazard has made 0 land units. He's made nothing that will help. But it seems like Kramer's going to back off. He could have gotten the kill here, but he may have traded his own life for it if ATP, our tennis player, had come in and protected him. Gun upgrade here for Erectimus Prime, looking to push. Does he know about the PD? No, he doesn't, so he's going to discover that in the worst possible way when he walks into it. And up here, Flyboy also want a Tech 2 upgrade. He's in danger. These Zuis could primary his comm here. Yeah, he found out about those turrets, look, the worst way, and they're just going to get rinsed by the PD. No radar. Building Tech 2 PD for the range without radar is a terrible decision. He has no radar here. He didn't build one at all. So he could have killed a lot more there than he actually managed to kill. Was this upgrade cancelled? It was. So Flyboy was forced to cancel his Tech 2 upgrade very late on, so he's lost a lot of mass and energy on that. And he still has, what, 2 tanks? He's in a really dangerous position here. He's also cut off, completely cut off. Team 2 holds the middle and they can just push here and they can cut him off. This is what happens in most games. One team will take the middle and then they will push either here or here, cut off this player and just 3 or 4v1 them, and they can't hold. And with this position taken and some anti-air placed here, the air player is just cut off as well. And it's kind of like really takes map control. ED going up here. Can it actually shoot? I'm not sure it will actually be able to shoot over there. You have to remember the terrain is important in Forged Alliance. We'll see what that can do. These Zuis probably able to crush some Tech 1 Mexes. And a big build-up of units in the middle. Team 1 holding for sure here. Lots of anti-air as well. Tech 2 upgrade on Zelda Fanboy's comm. But all the comms very close. If one of them goes up, all of the units will be deleted. I think if you're going to stand and do an upgrade like this in the middle of the map and you have really no information about what the air players are doing, so there's no mercies, so I guess that's okay. They don't need to fear mercies, otherwise you should just be in the water doing that, to be honest. Oh no. So this is looking like it's going to be a tragedy here. 3 Thams tickling a Mex to death, and Flyboy getting stuck on his factory as he tries to come and save it. And as he tries to come and save it, the enemy comm will just walk in behind him. F's in the chat for that, Mex. Tetra also having no scouting information. Oh, maybe he does. He just yeah. Okay, he's building flak here to protect himself. So this is the danger. If you push into this position early, you're at risk of getting ganked by air. So we'll see if Erectorus Prime decides to also back off due to air. He's under pressure from these napalm bombers, the glorious UEF Tech 2 fighter bomber, the Janus. And they have two wing positions, the wide attack formation one like this for dropping bombs, and a swept back, more sleek one to fight anti-air. Looks like the duelist is actually in the pond rather than in his base. That's going to make defending this a lot harder for him. We've got quite a lot of Nothers here. Nothers are very strong at sniping commanders. TAC missile base in the middle, very expensive. Probably would have preferred to see a flak here. And Fervor's under fire, actually getting real work done on poor ATP3's comms since he's unable to fight back over the cliff. But the Nothers are coming for Zelda Fanboy. Is this going to be enough to kill him? I don't think it will. Ooh, he doesn't dodge any of them. There's another one as well, 6 Nothers. That hits both comms. Imagine if he'd landed all bombs on both comms. That would be absolutely disgusting. Coming back for a second pass. That bomb goes all over the place. But he eats one for sure, and this one's going to hit him too, and he's down to 2,000 health. Very, very low. The bombers then lose their targets. And Ryguys is forced into the water as well. His teammate, though, Kramer, is just sitting here, and he starts a Tech 2 upgrade after having seen his allies get bombed. What is he doing?
No!
Kramer,
God!
please! Are you serious?
No! God, please, no!
Don't.
No!
Oh my
No!
goodness me.
No!
That was, that's... ouch. I mean, I don't want to be mean, but at 1100 rating, if you see your allies getting bombed to death by Nothers right next to you, and you choose that now is a good time to stand still and do Tech 2, and that's kind of a Darwin Award. Sorry, Kramer. That was perhaps not the best decision to get your Tech 2 upgrade. Or if you're going to get your Tech 2 upgrade, maybe move to a safer spot like in the water, since your ally already holds this. Tech 2, and he's healing his comm here, he's repairing the damage on his comm. So Tech 2 completed here for Tetra. And he starts a TAC missile upgrade. And that is interesting. What damage will he be able to get done with this? Well, there is no TMD anywhere by the looks of things. Well, this is good. Actually, the TAC missile in the middle managed to fire before it got killed, so that will probably prompt some TMD. Something that's nice to see, a real positive here from our lowest rated player, Ryguys, is that he is helping his ally by putting units here. Unfortunately, instead of perhaps putting them a little bit back in a place that can be defended, he's left them just open to superior range units, so that's unfortunate. If you're going to do this and leave units here, if you don't have the APM, if you're a lower level player, just press the button in the corner on the scoreboard, the little man picture, and give the units to your allies. It's, just let your ally have them. They're looking at this part of the map, you're looking at this part of the map, just give them to a player that can use them. There's nothing wrong with giving away units. So Zelda Fanboy is back out of the water on his low health comm, and he's going for a shield, which ATP can definitely just instantly kill if he wants. The gunship turns up as well. Goes for the shield, but it pops up. That's very, very lucky. Zelda Fanboy, extremely lucky with that shield there. And these Cerberus turrets are going to be able to blink away at the Lobos. He actually dropped the shield and then left. If he's got overcharge and gun, you can easily kill this with a Tech 2 comm. With a gun comm, sorry. Here comes that TAC missile. What's he going for? Well, he's going for the only T2 mechs. Whether Flyboy saw this upgrade or not, that's the first missile he's fired, and he's already got TMD, so either great game sense there, or saw the upgrade coming. Where will be the next target for that TMD? Well, I would suggest up here, these mechs is, or even better, if we look at the range he actually has, this right here. Take the Tech 2 Air Factory. Now, I played a game on this map where I played as UEF up in this corner, and I was against MSG down here, and I essentially hid in this pond. and I was able to tack kill the air player's Tech 3 air HQ. Oh no, Zelda fanboy, what are you doing? You got killed for the same thing! He even had the shield!
I can't believe you've done this.
He built the shield and then stood outside of it. Was he trying to PD creep? Oh no. And Team 2 has lost 2 players already, and it's not their low-rated players either, it's they're both 1k plus. Zelda fanboy just deleted like the game there. He says he's playing like ass. Well, we don't like to be that mean here, but that was unfortunate. Not sure why you opted to stay outside the shield there. And that is another scalp for air player on the Team 1. Yellowfoot is playing, he seems to be playing very well at the moment. His base is, I don't know what all these NGs are doing. They're kind of derping around. This is, I have no idea what this is about, but he has got 2 scalps already just to spamming Nothers. No real counter air here from his mirror, who is sitting on T3 air and making power and gunships. And a transport here, so he's lifted over here and he's going to make a land factory. Fair enough. ATP3 killing off engineers here very easily. And this is actually really risky. If you think about what they've just seen, like a player literally just died here by being alone, essentially, even though they were near flag. And then you basically walk here. You walk here on your own, knowing that there are at least, what, 6 or 7, maybe more Nother bombers, and you just walk out here with no air cover whatsoever. This is an absolute death wish here. If you find, oh no, what happened here? Tetra with the run by, he's just run straight past Hazard 65's base, dude. He's still turtling here, and he's just absolutely wrecking everything. That's disgusting.
That's a lot of damage.
I don't even know if there's, I think it might be too late for Hazard to do anything about that now. He's got another PD firebase in his PD firebase. It's just all about these PD firebases. But for some reason they come all the way around and back out. It's actually gonna work. Wouldn't have expected this base to do anything, but he's gonna lose every single mechs he owns. Every mechs. Not one mech survived that. No mechs has survived. His mass income is 1.
Look at the mess with
That's
my boy.
absolutely filthy. What is he doing with that? Well, he's switched up to trying to make a Tech 1 power, but his Tech 2 engineer is still trying to make a point defense. Okay. So Erectimus is taking advantage of the map control that he's got here. His opponent, the duelist, is turtled in very hard, more PD. He actually rebuilt that base. He lost this base and he's rebuilt it in the same spot with the same PD. And he's going to make cruisers from his naval factory. And yeah, those cruisers are going to be a real problem. A real problem. Not only do they have great range with the TAC missiles, which is going to threaten kind of all of this kind of area. If we put it onto the view, this is the TAC missile range. So imagine he can basically get to here. But worse than that is the area denial that he's going to have on the air players. This is a real problem. And I think the best way to deal with this right now would be to just Zooey rush it. Is that what Tetra is doing? He obviously rushed through this gap before. This is actually the second time that poor Hazard has basically built a PD base and had units just run straight past it. And that is one of the main reasons that beginner players spamming PD bases really struggle in open maps that aren't Gap or some version of Astro Crater. Can just walk around them, and this is what we feared would happen to our poor beleaguered UEF in the white com here. He's getting ganked by 2 players. He's got some mongies, but he's walking them out of the shield. These desperately need to be fighting. He's in real trouble here. I don't know what's going to happen, but I've just seen up on the map, all of the Corsairs are also on the move. Not the Corsairs, sorry, the Nothers. All of the Nothers are coming. Where are they going? Are they also coming for the duelist? Is he going to get ganked by everyone all at once? Possibly. And the Nothers from the other team, so Tetra's Nothers are also up, and they're coming for ATP3, so we could have a double elimination here at the same time. So the Nothers come in here, the duelist, he manages to dodge, so that's great for him there. The gunships are helping. How is ATP3 doing? Well, he's getting bombed. Is he going to dodge any of them? No, he doesn't. One more bomb. Another Nother just picks him off. One more bomb will kill poor the duelist. He manages to dodge that one. That was a good dodge, but he's surrounded. He's got no air. Where is his air player? One ASF turns up, and it's too late. Deary me. That's a double elimination there. 2 more players are gone. And that means we are down to a 3v5. So that was Yellow Fruit again, just spamming Nothers, and he's killed 3 players doing this so far. And his answer to this situation is to build more Nothers. He has another 10. I think if they don't manage to get some air cover or some SAMs up, they're going to get picked off again. Absolutely brutal. Let's put the map back up because I know I missed things. What? Wow, terrible mouse control there. That's why I'm only 1400 rated. So we've got some bombers here. It's an interesting attack command to go after missile launchers. We've got a Ravager on the cliff with no TMD though, so that will probably die to the missiles fairly quickly. Bombing a single mini chicken and immediately dying to flak. The Nothers coming in here. Where are they going? We've got a transport, so it looks like Tech 2 engineers are going to be dropping here. Nothers harassing the expansion here of Erectimus Prime. And you can see the 2 players who are really spreading out onto the map. It's definitely the 2 higher players, Erectimus Prime and Tetra, our depressed emoji face here. They're both spreading out. The fact that they're actually meeting each other in combat, even though they're in complete opposite ends of the map. This is a great push. This should actually do some real damage. Making Zoes against cruisers is fantastic. The cruisers can't shoot them, so that will work really well. And you can just get rid of the factory even. Oh, he's going the wrong way. He doesn't want to be going up here. He should kill off the Navy. What is this big brain plan for? Missiles coming in. So, oh, Fiasco. He doesn't know that cruisers have tactical missile defense. He's trying to use missiles to get rid of cruisers, but cruisers are the best anti-missile in the game, basically. So that's never going to work.
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
What else is happening? We've got artillery fire here from Flyboy Boom. He's building an arty base on Tech 2 mexes. I mean, you can do this, but it's going to stall out your T3 progression very quickly. I don't mind a couple of these, you know, 1 or maybe 2 of these is actually pretty good if they're in a position which denies mexes. But 3, I think, is probably overkill. I think he should stop building PD here and tech himself up and get some units. He still has 0 tanks. He's just defending. Big scout wave from Yellow Fruit. What's he going to get to see? Well, he's going to get to see a lot of flags, some missile launchers, and some ASF, and that's about it. He sees the comm, so I guess it was worth it. Poor Hazard 65 has not recovered at all. He's still on Tech 1 mexes. Look, he's even lost one of his mexes. His ally has just decided to steal it. And he's still building PD. Tech 2 PD is almost completely outdated at 21 minutes. There's almost no point building it. And he goes instead for an arty. So I understand the idea for arty, but this is not threatening anything. This is only used in defense. Arties are much stronger in attack. Look at the map control his allies hold. He could easily make this base here right now with the control that they have. Then he would get 3 mexes, his arties would be threatening more at land, and he'd be able to move into the water if he needed. This would help his team. What he's doing now with these 2 bases is really not achieving much. And they're expensive too, look. This is expensive. This costs 3,000 mass. This is another 5,000 mass. So Yellow Fruit gets another scout out, and he scouts Tetra's comm. He sees he's under a Tech 2 shield, and that is a lot of Nothers. How many Nothers is this? 29 Nothers. Is he going to eject the top player again? Well, not again, but is he going to eject the top player straight away? Maybe he will. Well, maybe not. These are being built pretty quickly. And did they actually come up since the scouting? No, he actually saw these. He's going to fly directly over the Tech 3 anti-air, which is slightly questionable. And there's ASF as well. Oh, it's so brutal. The ASF and the splash damage on the turrets is just disgusting. Quite a few of them get through. He's actually targeting the shield where the comm was, and that's only dropped it to half health, so not very effective at all. What are these bombers doing? Well, they are bombing the units down here, fair enough. They're getting picked off by inties when there's ASF, so either Tetra thinks they are bait inties, or he just doesn't want to engage. We've got broadswords in production. How will those get used? So these are transports, remember. Not a lot of people will remember that, but these can actually carry Tech 3 units, I think. So be careful of people with broadswords. Remember, they can drop you with them. It's pretty disgusting. More TAC missiles. Please stop this fiasco. You cannot kill cruisers with TAC missiles. He's aiming here at the... He's trying to damage the building and the construction at the same time, but they're never going to get through. Does he know about the TMD? He does. Why would you fire past TMD like that? Tetra is starting a chicken. I think that is a power move there. Does he have the eco for it? Well, he's actually making that off of Tech 2 mixes. This is quite late in the game to be on Tech 2 mixes, I would say, 23 minutes, especially on 2 base. He has Othams out. And looks like they're going to just straight up defend Directimus Prime's land push. But these cruisers are doing their work, right? They are denying this, they're denying air. The moment the air gets close, it just gets blacked by all the anti-air. The poor Nothers are too slow to dodge it, they just get picked off. Because Directimus Prime is very vulnerable. He's just here in the open, he has no shields. You could bring those around the side, not off map obviously, that's exploiting, but you could bring them around the side of the flak. So only one of the flaks is hitting you, and just come for its comm if all these ASF weren't here. Interesting that it's actually Flagon who is... He's making laser for some reason, but he is actually the one making the ASF right now. Not, as you might expect, the designated air slot here, which is the meta. Air slot is sticking up heavy shield gens, and he's upgrading his mexes, so he is ecoing. It's good to see. How many T3 mexes are about? Well, very, very few. The only people to have a T3 mex is the air player down here, Tetra, who has one here, one here. Actually, all his core mechs are T3, so Tetra is going to have the highest eco. But despite that, they're still down on eco because they're down 3 players. And that's with the massive damage that they managed to do to Hazard 65 in the first place. Although I think Hazard is making a big mistake here, and it's something a lot of beginner players do. Is that they get into the mid game, and their eco isn't very good, but they always think, you know, oh, I need to build more defenses to survive the enemy threats. So they start building defenses, but they haven't really got the mass to pay for it. And FAF is one of those games where if you want to actually build a lot of stuff, it's actually more efficient to eco solidly for 5 minutes and then build the stuff you want with higher resource income than it is to actually just start building it. And I think he's got himself stuck. He's just trying to build more stuff that he needs, although he doesn't really need his tank launcher at all. Everything is just going to build so slow. This PD here hasn't even got anything to shoot at. Although actually it might come in handy against these offense now. Purple says, make Iota grow. So he says he wants to make the chicken. Well, yeah, that's a good plan. Tetra's already making one. And Erectimus Prime says he's about to make a chicken, he needs mass. And that's because he's on Tech 1 Mexit, so we're all upgrading. Yeah, interesting that 2 top-rated players are the ones who've done the expansion. And again, they're clashing in the middle with each other. Flyboy has done almost nothing so far. He's sat in his base. And he's getting a RAS upgrade. He's got shield and T3. He's giving a radar for his team, but still no units. No units at all. He's got Tech 3 land. I mean, he could probably just come and crush his opponent. If he made like 3 or 4 Perseus and just walked in here, he could probably just kill his opponent. I guess he doesn't have the money for that. But the Zooey push, which perhaps should be getting rid of the... this is the second time poor Ryguy's left his army in range of enemies and just kind of forgot about them. First over here, now here. Oh no, he's moving them, he rescues them, good job. I think another mistake players make is they like spend all their time like, oh, we've got to place this here, we've got to do this, we've got to do this, and they don't have the map up, or they don't play at a higher zoomed out level. A lot of the, if you watch the streams of the good guys, they'll place their stuff like this, and they're still watching the map as they place their structures, because they want to see what's happening. Lots of broadswords. This looks like a snipe coming up to me. They have plenty of air to protect them. Is there going to be an air engage here? No, there's not. Otham's pressuring this at the front. They're going for the tack launcher. But Otham's standing still versus a million Lobos. Who would win? The answer might surprise you, and it's definitely the Lobos. And especially here, where they're actually going to damage both targets at once. Who will be the target of the snipe, I guess, is the question. And Hazard is actually being useful. He managed to block that attack. They would take 3 units as well. You see the Lobo fire deleting the mass there. And Tech 3 scouts do get through, and they manage to see the broadswords. So they know the broadswords are there. More Nothers patrolling and scouts. Erectimus Prime has Nano on his comm now, and gun. So he's swapped his T2 for Nano. He's working on that chicken. Here comes the snipe, and it's on Hazard. They've just walked in. Where are the defending ASF? Well, they're here. Are they going to be able to protect him? I think it's too late. Poor Hazard 65. The gunships just clean him up. And he says, air, question mark, in chat. Well, that's just unfortunate, because he was so far back as well, and he was in his little shielded base. It's not like he could have done much about that. If he had better eco, he might have a bit more anti-air. But, don't take this the wrong way, Hazard, but I think for you, maybe just ecoing a little bit more so you've got more mass to play with. You're not necessarily doing bad things, it's just that your mass income is so low that whatever you do, you can't make very much. But compared to your opponents that have got all this stuff, you're making like 1 or 2 PDs. Just eco a bit more. because your team is actually going to up these probably quite quickly to Tech 2 and Tech 3 mexes. And this is going to be potentially another elimination. Poor Flyboy is stuck in his base here. Can Tetra see the comm? Well, he can. He's taking fire from a Ravager. Here's the comm right here. Flyboy. Can he dodge this first shot? No, he doesn't. He takes it right in the face. That's his shield taking the damage though. He gets an overcharge. Doesn't dodge that one. Is he going to get another overcharge? He does. He's got so much energy storage. Look at the damage. He might actually be able to do this. He's on half health. Another overcharge. Oh, it's so close. Oh, Flyboy. That was actually really, really close. He could have actually won that. I think if he hadn't eaten the 2 energy balls at the start on his way in, or if he had gun and he had more range. He didn't have gun on his comm either. I think if he had gun, or he'd dodged a couple of those energy balls, he would have actually been able to kill that 1v1 with the shields. So, unfortunate there, Flyboy. You fought well, and the chicken unfortunately makes it away. Has veterancy, so the regen is going to help it, but I suspect that might get control K'd and reclaimed. Tetra getting crushed in the middle here. It probably needs his chicken to fight all of this, but it's too damaged to be much use. And these engineers just scooping up mass, getting deleted by cruisers. Here comes an engineer drop, so that's going from great work there by Tetra. And another engineer drop going here, so he's transporting to both the empty bases here. So that's exactly what you want to be doing. Not only is there mass to scoop up here, so much mass to scoop up, oh my goodness. Team 1 really needs to throw some units in here and prevent this, otherwise he's going to scoop all of this up. Excuse me, engineers, would you like to slurp some mass, please? Maybe they would not like to slurp some mass. Questionable. Is he overflowing mass? No, he's actually minus 250. This is exactly what he needs. Oh. And these engineers, too depressed to do anything as well. Oh, they're actually Zuis. Why did he drop Zuis here? I guess he thought that the enemy had engineers here, but they don't. These engineers still AFK, unfortunately. He desperately needs that mass. He's stalling like crazy. And how are we on mass? Well, Team 2 are still very far behind. Look at that, 50% down. So despite their recent success, they're far, far behind. And a Fat Boy is going to be the UEF answer to those cruisers. And Fat Boys are very strong against cruisers. They will just wreck them as long as you stay out of the missile fire. Definitely just primary those cruisers, kill them off. Don't know why he's firing at this. You want to target the cruisers. And now he's going to probably need to retreat, but don't retreat through the missiles. If you retreat through the missiles, you're going to take all kinds of damage. Yeah, he can't lose this to the army, that's the problem, but shooting this is a terrible decision. And he takes about 15,000 damage there by walking through the missile fire. This pink army looks like it might just get deleted. It's 5,000 mass. But luckily some units come in from Tetra here. They're going to sandwich this army with the help of the Fat Boy. That's really strong. I think Rectimus Prime might even have to retreat there. Yeah, the Fat Boy is a very good solution to this. If they can... Oh no, it's not anymore. There's a chicken. Rectimus's chicken is up, and he desperately needs to run the Fat Boy away if he wants to have any chance of surviving. What is this? Yeah, the chicken, Tetra's chicken just got control K for reclaim. That's very sensible. But the Fat Boy's just standing still, and it's going to get absolutely dunked on by that chicken leg. Just doing a drive-by with the cannon on the side. Very unfortunate. The broadswords brought back in. There's more of them. He has increased his number of broadswords. They're going after the chicken. And that is a nuke? It's a Billy nuke. So Ryguys has made the Billy nuke on his comm absolute Chad. Unfortunately, this is probably not a very good time to use it, or a good target for it. He hits behind the chicken, kills the chicken, and basically all of the gunships.
I'm kind of retarded.
Yeah, perhaps not the best decision there. This would have been a much, much better target. The Billy nuke is very, very strong against Tech 3 land armies that do not have loyalists in them. And obviously the confusion from the Billy nuke, because it uses the same graphic as the UEF death nuke, but it's not a UEF dying, it's actually the UEF being a Chad. Giant nuke blast there. You see the range on the cruisers, just so abusive, look. Oh, what's that? How long has this been here? Excuse me? How long have I not seen those ticks in the middle of the map? What a retard. So where are we with Eco after that? Well, it looks like the reclaim did happen, and Tetra is going to get absolutely boosted off of that. He's got an anti-nuke, he's queuing up a Tech 3 artillery, he's got another chicken. This reclaim, very, very good for him. He desperately needed that, he was stalling like crazy. Huge wave of Othams, but they're going to run into a chicken, and the chicken's AoE blasts, I think, will absolutely rinse Othams. Yeah, look at that. Huge amount of damage. Othams all clumped up versus chicken. Easy win for chicken. Attack pings go down on the chicken. Not sure how they're going to attack that. Flying your ASF over it does not. So Team 2 does have an Omni. Does Team 1 have an Omni? Yes, they do. To be expected. And these gunships just being abandoned and left to die here. There was quite a few of them and they just got killed for nothing. The ASF napping in their base. The missiles following these units behind. This is a bad time to fall behind in the group. Look. Yeah, you don't want to fall behind, you'll just get nuked by all those missiles. I do quite like the way the chicken fires different projectiles and things. Probably my favourite thing about the game is the fact that all of the units have different weapons and they fire them at different targets independently, like the Fat Boy and the battleships, even the destroyers. They fire at multiple targets, tracking them simultaneously. I think it looks pretty cool. So all of those army, that Tech 3 land army, unable to damage the chicken really, just brought it down to 75% health. And a friendly fire incident happening here. Whoops. And the chicken going to be able to just press onwards. There's a defensive chicken coming, but I don't think it will arrive in time. Obviously, the Cerberuses are not going to be able to do anything, and Flagon needs to get out of there. I imagine that, yeah, the chicken is just going straight for him. He can leave. This would be a great time for you to... did he finish his laser upgrade? No, he didn't by the looks of things. But this would be a great time for him to just pick up on a transport and leave, really. He's making an ASF. And another ASF. Just make a transport. Just leave. Just... Your friend has a transport. Give him the transport. He's gonna die. This is like leaving a man behind to his inevitable death. It's like Tom Hanks versus that, versus the tank. It's just, he's just shooting, he's not even going to shoot him, he's just going to die. Oh, that's another unnecessary death here. He could have left. I don't know if that was the depression that got to him, or he just didn't think about it at the time. And what is this? suicidal units don't go into the ball of death. Oh dear. That was unfortunate. And so the chicken is going to face off against the other chicken.
It's time to duel!
But actually, despite having killed the base, it's not going to be that far off. It's got a lot of veterancy, and it actually has more health right now. Due to the veterancy, like 100,000 versus 67,000 max. So that battle is actually very close. Very, very close. Much closer than it should have been. And these knockers are coming in to perhaps finish it off. Yes, they will. And that's a double chicken death here. A nuke has been constructed by Erectimus Prime, but he's about to get the gunship treatment. Fiasco flies straight in with his broadswords, balls to the wall, goes, hey, I don't care about your shield. I think he might actually be able to kill the shield. He might have been able to use one of the gunships to kill the shield from inside. That might have been a much better thing to do. And unfortunately not going to pick up the kill there. Fiasco getting wrecked on air as well. Is he fighting over Sam's? Yes, he is. So Erectimus Prime, I kind of think that regen upgrade helped him. Another Fat Boy has gone after the cruisers, but now there's a battleship, and if we look at the range, you will see why that's terrible for the Fat Boy. The Fat Boy is still in range, long after being out of range. And this is not a good place to be. You really can't dodge with the Fat Boy. It doesn't really work. Definitely don't dodge back into it. If anything, you should be moving behind the hill here. Use the terrain. Remember your Chinese military tips. Oh no, one more shot will kill it. But is it out of range for the battleship now? Almost. Oh, he could have given a move command and an attack, and I think he would have been able to kill it, but not this time. Sniper bots here, firing at point. Just fell over. That's the least dramatic death I've ever seen. It's like he just got bonked on the head. So the Fat Boy gets almost nothing done there, kills a couple of cruisers and has to retreat. The Otham's actually not trading very well with Zuis because they're not really being microed. Zuis will trade well with anything if the opponent doesn't get microed. Look at these tanks get absolutely wrecked. Absolute travesty. And a sniper bot again at point blank range. This is actually this naval yard has actually ended up being a real thorn in Tech 1's side. They've only been able to advance on this left side of the map up here. It's been a real pain in the butt for them, to be honest. It is a pretty Chad move to make Navy. I actually quite like making Navy on Canis, which is a bit of a troll move, but I enjoy it. And I think this is probably prime for attack missile sniper at this point in the game. What is Yellowfruit doing? He's got, what, 3 kills to his name already? And, bombers coming in. And he's progressed onto, well, he's making a chicken, so he's using his eco, I think. No, not really. He is using some of his eco, and he's making mass boys. Does he know that... Okay, he does. So he must know that Seraphim boys are not RAS comms. They are basically combat comms. And Seraphim boys are incredibly strong. But you need to be able to use them, and they take quite a lot of micro. Are the engineers just gonna... They're suiciding again, look. They're just walking into their duty.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine, and you're not really fine. And you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
And we've got another chicken push. I think the chicken might actually be effective against the... I think it might be a good idea to just push all this and clear the Navy. This Navy is so expensive. How much money has Erectimus Prime spent on this Navy? The Troll Navy has cost 50,000 mass. That's how much it's cost. Oh, we have a nuke. That nuke is now 60%. What will be the solution? Well, there's no anti-nuke here. There's one anti-nuke here, but it's loaded. Okay, good job. Anti-nuke here, about to be loaded. And the artillery is finished. So the artillery is the solution to the nuke. That will definitely put pressure on Erectimus Prime. Has it fired yet? No, we actually caught it just as it's about to fire. I think that attack missile base here would be excellent, but Tetra probably doesn't have the APM to deal with that, and all of this, and all of the air, and his eco at the same time right now. These strat bombers look like they're actually used to damage the chicken there, but both chickens, well, both took a fair bit of damage, but Erectimus Prime's chicken escapes. And the artillery is firing on the comm, is that? Possibly the nuke, possibly the comm. The nuke is so close. The Fat Boy is brought back in, but why? Oh no, right guys, don't. Look at this situation. Why would you primary the battleship? Kill the cruisers. They take like 2 volleys to die, and then the gunships can clean up the battleships with the high health. Primarying the cruisers like this. Primary all the cruisers, just kill them off. It would be such a good idea. But he's going to go for the battleship, and the battleship just beats him 1v1 anyway. That was a very, very poor target call there. And the mass probably being deleted by the missiles, as you can see. Thank you, FAF, for our glorious reclaim value mod. So we've got a chicken and boys push. What are these boys? Well, they are shield boys. Unusually, he hasn't gotten the... he's opted not to get the upgrade for the boys, which gives them tactical missile. And he hasn't given them the upgrade for overcharge either. So Seraphim overcharge boys are unbelievably strong. Basically 4 or 5 of them can one-shot an experimental if you've got enough energy storage, which is completely disgusting. The lightning tanks are just running in by themselves, which is suicidal. Those engineers got absolutely overkilled. So look at this, these missile launchers full, no kills. How much of these cost? Reclaim them. They're no use anymore. Reclaiming bits of your base when they're no longer useful is very important. Probably could do with redoing the adjacency here as well. And what's this land factory doing adjacent to this? Swap these around. This is a very confusing base. I'm not sure what he's going for here. This T3 mass generator adjacent to 1 Tech 1 power. Yeah, unusual decisions there. No upgrades on his comm. How are these boys doing? Well, they're going to come up against Zuis and PD and a Tech 2 lander. Wow, a Tech 2 land army looks absolutely wrecked. That's something I think we need to be... oh, the nuke has died to the artillery and Erectimus is going gun again. I think we need to give credit where it's due to Ryguys here. Whenever there's a dangerous push, he has had his army there. But he's losing a Fat Boy for no reason here. Excuse me, Fat Boy. Please. Please, Fat Boy. Don't sit here and die. There's so much to live for. You don't have to suffer like this. Okay, well, he decided to move. He got woken up when the shield went down. Of course, you can spam up Tech 2 PD incredibly quickly, but building your way out of problems like that is fairly APM intensive. Much easier if you've got the shortcuts configured and you know that what the shortkeys are for doing things. So you can go that very quickly, or do your TMD. If you've got the hotkeys, much quicker. So the Fat Boy is back, and he is going after the cruisers, and look how quickly they die. The Fat Boy is so strong against them. And this is a good move too. The tanks against the cruisers, excellent again. But the Fat Boy's going to get primaried there. So the Fat Boy's going to go down to the battleships almost certainly. Now his attack here, Yellow Fruit's attack is streaming in one by one into chicken fire, and the AoE is going to just wreck them, even with the shield. Look at that, the ball of death. And remember, when they die, they have a death explosion with the nuke, which damages things around them as well. It would have been better perhaps to send a chicken in first. He doesn't have the overcharge upgrade, or the tactical missile launcher upgrade. Imagine if he had the TML upgrade on like 4 of them. He could just immediately start deleting things. Tetra completes another chicken, and surely 2 chickens and all this PD will be enough to repulse this attack. I'm not sure why he thinks this is going to work, but it's really not. It's just not going to work. It would have been better just using this army to take the space. And Team 1 up here is definitely doing well at the moment. Erectimus working on heavy shield generators. His base is getting wrecked. Is he going to be able to get into the base to do damage? Well, maybe not. Both chickens are here. What is he doing? He's giving an attack command to the PD. And all his stuff is just clumped up into one very easily bombable area, which is terrible. He's just giving them a move command together rather than microing them. So he can dodge with these. They're hard to hit. One of the best things about using combat boys is that they have a very small hitbox. Remember that in FAF, all of the projectiles are simulated with slight random firing variance and velocity, and you can essentially dodge all the projectiles with a few exceptions. Yeah, Fat Boy number 2 died exactly the same way as Fat Boy number 1 did, so that's unfortunate. And the attack coming in here, and the comm is on a transport. Now, if the air players just swooped in, they could pick him out of the sky and kill him immediately. But looks like he's going to get away up onto the cliff. That's actually quite a sensible move. I quite like that. And the teleport. So Rectimus Prime went teleport, and he's going to pick off. He's picked off Tetra. He's teleported in. Is he going to be able to get out? No, I think the chicken's going to finish him. Oh my goodness. So both the top players wipe each other out. And that's going to kill off this attack. There's going to be almost nobody left. So this base is going to survive the double chicken attack due to its death. Oh man, Erectimus, why didn't you wait until your chickens were here before you did that? And now we have a 2v1, a 700 and a 600, who are suiciding their bombers here. Which is confusing. And versus an 800. So let's have a look at how they're doing on eco. Well, it's actually pretty even, 350 to 400. So, Rye Guys, well, he's stalling power. Fiasco 21 is actually managing his eco okay. He's spending his mass. Yellow Fruit, well, he's overflowing, so that's no good. That's pretty bad. And his engineers are all idle. This is not a good sight. This doesn't fill me with confidence at all. Big army just balled up, like the AI balls this unit's up in its base before it moves out here, actually. No mechs here. Just forgot about that one. It's okay, we don't need that one. We've got plenty. We're overflowing mass anyway, so we don't need these mexes. That's not a problem. There's a lot of chat here about how to win from their allies, from people who are dead. Which is, yeah, teleporter done. Novak satellite, so it looks like Team 2 are going to go for the standoff approach. It has worked out well for them so far with the artillery here killed off the nuke. And, well, they're going for an arty again. And there's really no shielding. What's going on here? Stalling power. Why is he stalling power? I'm not sure. I don't know why he's stalling power. He didn't get an upgrade on his comm. He's not spending that much on experimentals. He's just building lightning tanks and boys. And reclaim mexes. Eh? Why would you want to reclaim a mex at this stage of the game? And if you did, why would you want to reclaim a mex that doesn't exist? I don't understand that ping. 40,000 mass. Yeah, there is 35k here. But there's actually 700. Is that? Yeah, 700,000 mass here. And green is pinging out the mass on the map, which is probably not what you want to be doing to a player who's like low rated like this. Because not only does it spam the map and like make it difficult for them to do anything, but I mean, Yellow Fruit's probably not going to be reclaiming. I think the simple advice would be better. Maybe ask him to make an artillery or something. Start a T3 artillery. Does he have the eco for it? Yeah, he probably does. If he could just get a couple of boys and queue up some mexes, he would have lots of eco there. It's all for the taking. Really no attempt to spread out from Yellow Fruit. He's actually withdrawing as well. Withdrawing all the way back to his base. And a drop here, and this is his comm. What have we got there? What on earth is this about? Why would you take such a risk? I don't know. This is a unusual decision here. But he has the Billy, right? Yeah, he's going for a Billy nuke. There's no TMD. So actually that's pretty big brain. That's like galaxy brain here. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we can use the cinematic mod. Ah, it's too fast. God damn it. Use the move command. There we go. It's so. I set it so slowly. He lands a great Billy nuke there. And he's hopped off back to his base in this Continental. And Tetra is laughing. Build TMD. Well, is he going to build some TMD? Yes, he does. So he's reading the chat. Our Yellow Fruit boy here in a 2v1. He's reading the chat. He sees he's been asked to make TMD, although this is not great placement. If you're protecting a base with TMD, he's going to get Billy nuked again. Look, same tactic, but the TMD saves him. So you probably want to place your TMD like this, overlap them a bit, but don't build a big block like that. It's not going to help you. And Artie opens up, so we've got Artie on firing here. I'm going to slow it back down again. Fat boy in the middle, and that's actually really effective against these boys at long range. Another Billy nuke. That's going to do a lot of damage too. Takes the shields off. And the regen on these shields is actually terrible. Only 22. That's awful. That's really low. There's a nuke started here, but that's not a great choice. Does he already know about the anti-nukes? He does. He knows that they have anti-nukes and that they were built a long time ago, so a nuke is not a good choice. I don't know why he would choose that one. It's not shielded either, which is pretty questionable. He's going to be walking into... So all the bombers are going for one commander there. Questionable. Probably want to spread them out on the lightning tanks. So if you want to do that, if you're a new player and you want to know how to make the bombers bomb multiple targets at once, what you want to do, use your bombers, select them all, and you want to set a spread attack. And the way you can do that, if you use F1 to bring up your orders, and then you can type spread here, in the orders here, spread attack is Shift G for me. You can basically queue up with right click, hold Shift, queue up some comms, and then press Shift G, and they will all go and attack individual comms. They will spread the damage out. It's really, really handy for firebombing bases with Janus, or for picking out multiple targets. Or for, say you want to bomb 3 cruisers at a time with torpedo bombers. Very, very strong at doing that. There's a whole bunch of Ravagers here, so I'm not sure how effective this will be. The Ravagers are going for the boys though, which is not good for the Ravagers because the boys have a really small hitbox. Unfortunately, both the chickens are right next to each other and blocking each other again. I'm not sure why he doesn't spread them out like that. Really want to spread the chickens out. That death ball is going to cause real problems. It's going to zap all his own boys. If he gets the anti-nuke, he can basically drop a nuke here. That will be a great pickup for him. Potentially get him back into the game here. As he's dropped heavily on eco because he's not expanded at all. He loses the anti-nuke. Another Billy goes off. Purple has no radar. No, he never built a radar at all. So I assume that the radar that he had is still overflowing mass. I assume that the Omni he had earlier belonged to another player, probably Flagon, before he died. That was actually a big loss for their team. When he died, all the ASF went with him, which was pretty disastrous. So these boys, they did pick up the fat boy, but look, this great wall of Ravagers up here on the cliff. This is like the UEF shooting gallery. Look, absolutely disgusting. And the Tech 1 bombers just having a field day, and the boys have been left behind to die. Oh no! And a satellite as well. Oh, I can't watch that. That is a massacre. That's very sad to watch the boys treated like that. No respect for the boys. So I guess the question is, can Yellow Fruit still win this? He's in retreat at the moment, but he can definitely still win the game. His opponents are not high rated, they're not being very active. He's got the teleport boys, he's got a nuke. His opponent only has 1 anti-nuke. If he teleports some of those boys in, kills the anti-nuke, launches a nuke on yellow, he'll probably just win, even though he's not doing very much. Would I like to see that happen? Definitely. Is it likely to happen? No, not really. Duke lands right on the nuke and kills it.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, and you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
He's just very, very passive player. So it might be that he's quite new to the game and he's come from the campaign or from, you know, another style of play where sitting in your base and then making a ball of units and sending it like that is effective, but it's not really effective in FAF multiplayer. You need to be much more active than this. I mean, half his stuff is just not having any orders. It's overflowing 100 mass a second. And he's just going to die to the nuke, if he doesn't take any action here. He's losing his whole base. His air is all sitting on the floor. It's just balls of units. Com doesn't look like it's ever moved since the start of the game. That's really unusual because if you think back sort of half an hour ago, I mean, it's not too different to these players. I mean, if you look at really what's going on, player in base making artillery, player in base making nuke, aircraft on patrol in a not particularly useful space, aircraft patrolling not in a particularly useful way. That nuke shot, that Duke, sorry, actually looks like it hit the ASF. All the projectiles are simulated, so they can hit aircraft accidentally. It does happen. So he's making a shield here, and then what does he do? Well, he gives a move order. And that's it. Does he do anything else? No. No. That one hit the ASF as well. So he's giving individual move commands. So he's giving an order to move a shield. So I think we need to think that our APM is probably... we're probably looking at perhaps single-digit APM here. Very, very, very low. The actions, maybe 3 or 4 actions a minute, realistically. So this is 2. Nothing up here. 3, build an Omni. That's actually a really good idea. He put up an Omni. Great idea. 4, 5. But yeah, 5 actions there, 5 build orders. But that's it. Everything else is not doing anything. And that's been nearly a minute, I would say. So yeah, we're probably looking at 4 or 5 actions a minute, which is quite low for an RTS. Down here, what have you got? Well, almost nothing. Just everything working on a Novax. And full mass bar. Full mass bar, basically. Overflowing. Well, no, full mass bar, but not overflowing anymore. What's he building? He's building a chicken, that's why. But the shields are down with the satellite and the Duke. Flyboy says he's got no mass. I think you're wrong there. He has plenty of mass. His shields are failing here and he's going to take a lot of damage, but is this still winnable for him? Absolutely. A good rated player, high rated player could definitely still win this game. It's still to play for. It doesn't need to give up, but I think the depression's probably getting to him.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Yeah, probably a bit of a beginner player. I feel like we need a I feel like in FAF we need a better way of teaching players how to play well, because we end up with games where players are so passive that they can get picked on, and their allies in the chat here are not keen about it. So it's probably on us to work out a better tutorial or way of teaching people to play. If you think about what happened, like the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, Yellow Fruit here was an absolute monster. He murdered 3 opposing players by just sending Nothus at them in the middle. But once that phase of the game was well and truly over and he couldn't get through anymore, he kind of struggled for what to do. He made a whole bunch of boys, but didn't get the right upgrades for them to really be effective, and made a couple of chickens and just sent them, and it didn't really work out at all. So yeah, unfortunate. I think Ryguy's actually, despite his lack of eco and suiciding a lot of units and losing 3 fat boys to the destroyers and the priority targeting here, which was not great, actually was very map aware. One of the most map aware players for a 600. He's always got his units where they should be. You look at the map and there's an ally under threat. He actually was trying to defend them and help. So actually, definitely some potential there. Yellow had a good gunship snipe, but this is embarrassing. This was probably the worst mistake he made, just constantly trying to tactical missile defenses. So that's pretty unfortunate. So I think we'll wrap that one up. That was a pretty good game. I don't know which way it would have went if any of those players had survived, and even at the end you really didn't know who was going to win. So we'll take a look at our scores. I guess that's probably a sensible option to do. There we go. So yeah, Yellow Fruit, he's got 3 kills. Tetra's got 4. Tetra played a really strong game. He would have absolutely carried that hard if he didn't get tele-sniped by a Rectimus Prime out of nowhere. So a good call to snipe there by a Rectimus Prime, but it kind of doomed your team in the end. So MVP is going to go to Tetra. That was excellent. I liked that. So I've been thinking about some different content types that we can make. We need to do a dual cast with bring some extra people in to commentate on the game or make comments. Or I can post up some of the games I play in Discord. I do actually play a lot of games and they are pretty funny. Or maybe we can do a derp of the week, like a fail award. Let me know in the comments what you want to see and I will leave you with Discount Keyboard Cat. See you next time.